All right, guys, we're gonna just jump right into this full throttle. I watched Reds Rhetoric's Hangout. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. This is the after show. It's also the pre-show to Aron Ra. Yes, by the way, guys, it's Aron Ra. He'll accept either Aron or Aaron, but his name is actually Aron Ra. So, anyways, he'll be on tonight with hopefully lots of theists having discussions. But I want to make sure that my mic is clear because for 24 hours, pretty much my mic was not working. I tried everything. I've had this problem before. I didn't know how to fix it. Oh, I didn't remember what I did to fix it. So I did the last ditch thing that any normal human being could do when they have Windows. I did a system restore.
I just figured you took all the gloating out of it.
No, I took the porn off and I did a system restore, put the porn back on. That took me about 15 hours to do. But I changed some mic settings around. I changed the plugs. I plugged it in the back instead of the front, which I tried before and it didn't work. So between restoring and replugging it, is it fine now? Is it back to normal?
You're sounding good.
Okay, because it was horrible before. Eventually, I'll go back to using voice meter, but I'm not going to bother with that right now because I figure it's good. I don't want to touch it. But anyway, so let's go back to Red's Hangout real quick because I've already chastised Sean and George chastised him. We're not going to browbeat him. But that guy
chastised, I would accept corrected.
Corrected. Some mild issues they had with what they were saying. I don't really get into the whole moon orbit, sun shit. Sean knows all about that stuff. I just know a little bit about, atomic physics. But,
yeah, I was gonna say you know more about atomic stuff than I do.
And you know more about celestial mechanics more than I do, so it's a trade-off. But anyways, the guy that was on there, part-time vegan, I really got the impression he's just wanted to fuck with people. He's just a po. I don't really think that he gives a shit one way or another. He was so evasive that, and then they all are, right? They didn't even want to admit that oh yeah, that guy may have been wrong about the sun causing its own eclipse. By the way, Sean, please explain to me how physically that would even work.
It wouldn't.
Okay. I say no explanation needed.
There is no explanation. I mean, we know the sun is a sphere because we can observe sunspots that orbit around the back, or they roll around the back of it. The sun rotates like every 14 days, I think it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We can see it. It's definitely a fluid.
And some sunspots last long enough to where they actually go around the back side and come back around the other side. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So we know that it is a spherical object. We know that it rotates every 14 days. We see all sides of it. There is no dark side. And that's what they're trying to claim. Is that
the dark side of the sun?
That's what they're claiming, yes. And like somebody else pointed out, if it was a rotating half sphere, like we know that it is, or we know that it's a sphere anyway, but if it was light on one side, dark on the other, like they're claiming the moon is, then we would see a terminator line like the phases of the moon and not like the eclipse.
By the way, can you get Tornado Pelt in here? He'd like to join. I don't have his contact info.
Who?
Tornado Pelt. He asked in the Reds Rhetoric Hangout if you can join.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, get him in here. How bad could it be?
Let me go to his channel real quick.
Oh, Pew's going to do some due diligence here. Check this out. Nice.
Hey, parental consent. Hey.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not going to be mean to Pew Review like Reds is, because Reds treats you like a bastardized, stepchild.
I'm sorry. I made a promise to Pew that I would constantly pick on him about his mom as much as possible. So
that's fine. I'm not going to pick on Pew today. But that was funny when he said, "Pew, say what you got to say." Oh, fuck it, get the fuck out. Fuck off. That was awesome. I gotta admit, even I was like, I wasn't paying attention. I had the headphones on. I'm doing something else. I don't know what the hell it was, but I just remember I started laughing. So I heard that. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Deep.
So anyway, by the way, the link to get in is in the Great Debate community. If you're not in the Great Debate community, you can't get it, but unless you ask one of us. But it's always available for the Great Debate community members. So if you are not a Great Debate community member, go to the link below and join, and we'll check you out. And if you seem to be reasonable, we'll let you in, which, by the way, we have a very, very low threshold. I mean, Pew's in it, so again, our standards are not that high. I said I was not going to pick on Pew today, didn't I? That didn't last very long.
Oh, God.
Pew thinks he's funny with the soundboard. This is why we pick on Pew. Fuck off. I do not.
The only soundbite that he needs on his soundboard is the John Cena theme.
Oh yeah,
just the first few notes.
What's that?
Oh, because of something my mom said to Soundly when we were down in Tennessee for the eclipse.
Let's talk about that more.
Well, she doesn't stalk me.
Well, she was there.
People are complaining I need to announce these things
my
more.
God,
No, some of these are spur of the moment. This was completely spur of the moment, so there's no
Well,
way to announce it that much ahead of time.
Since I don't drive and it's my mom's sister that we went to see, it made sense for her to pick me up and just all go down there. She lives in a different state than I do. Yeah, she had a 15-hour drive compared to my 11. So there you go.
So you were in totality then, Sean?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. I don't know if you were aware that I was there, Steve.
You know what? I might have.
He was an afterthought.
Let me get Barney 1 second. Schoenbach. God, I don't. Schoenbach. There we go. Okay. Curtis wants to join. A few other people want to join. So.
Yes, and Tornado Pelt doesn't have any videos, and he has 5 subs. But
okay, well, that's 5 more
I'll
than
leave it up to
most
you.
trolls. Yeah, no, you can give him the link. I don't know his contact info, so I don't know how to get to him.
Yeah, let me see if I can find him on Hangouts real quick.
Oh, he just asked to join the Great Debate community. All right, so let me see. Let me moderate.
Yay!
Every request. Okay, he's approved. So you can get the link from there. Just look at the last post in the Great Debate community. Tornado Pelt. There you go. Merry Christmas. Oh, and George wants to link.
And just to point out, my correction from Steve was I dumbed it down to the point to where I started to be wrong, and I apologize for that.
Yeah, that was. Well, George hit the nail on the head. George was right on. Yeah.
I mean, I knew the kind of person we were dealing with, and he wouldn't understand anything remotely close to being in the realm of physics. So I tried to dumb it down as much as possible, and I ended up starting being wrong, and I accept that.
Yeah, Gallus, the link again. It's in the Great Debate community. This only holds 10 people. This is not my big hangout where I have like 25. So this is first come, first serve. Come on in. Got Scott Spangler in here.
If you need space, tell me, and I'll.
Yeah, Barney, stick around. But Gallus knows where she knows how to get in here. She's smart.
Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving pretty soon anyway. I'm gonna go to sleep.
So George came in. So George, yeah, George, I my mic wasn't working. I was explaining earlier that I just got this to work, and no, you're not muted anymore, Tornado. Tornado, can you say something? Yeah, I don't think you need to go to your settings up the little rotary thing and change your mic to what your default mic is. But George, when you went in there and you explained everything, just FYI, 100% agree with you. So.
All I was trying to do earlier was get the panel's attention. For some reason, my message wasn't getting through. I wasn't trying to come down on Sean or anything.
No. Like I said, I fully accept being corrected. I have no problem with being wrong, and I thank you for
what I could see happening is I saw this occur previously on some of Red's Hangouts is after an hour or two. I didn't watch the whole thing. I kind of popped in about an hour before I actually got on. But I've noticed that you guys just kind of get frustrated and weary and tired, and that's understandable. And then, you just start getting to the point where you grasp at anything to try to get this guy to get it through his skull that how things are. But
hey, by the way, Sean, it wasn't as bad as my trying to explain epsilon delta the other day during my math hangout. That turned into abortion. I started off great. The limits were fine. I knew all that shit, right? But as soon as I got onto the epsilon delta, which I didn't even want to touch, because anybody who's ever done epsilon delta, it just sucks, right? And so I butchered it. I realized I did. But you know what? I had 2 people that were really heavy into math, actual math teachers. Even they were like, with each other going, no, it's this way, and no, it's this way, and I was like, this is why I don't touch this shit, So we all do it.
There, guys.
But
some preparation was required.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw things kind of head downhill, all I wanted to do was, since that's an area that I know an awful lot about, electromagnetism and electronics and the electrical nature of matter.
That's why when I saw you and Steve in chat saying no, I was wrong. I was like,
yeah.
Get him in so they can correct me. I don't want to have him correct me in chat. I want him to correct me.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping to get on the panel sooner so that it wasn't going to go down that route, because I hate like heck to be correcting anyone on the panel. It just isn't good form. And
I think that if we're correcting flat earthers, it's fair game to correct us when we're wrong too. So
yeah, but
I really do appreciate you correcting.
Yeah, it would have been better if I had just been on the panel a little earlier so that I could have fielded it when the question came up, so that people weren't starting to get in trouble. But that's all I wanted to get across, is I was just hoping to maybe kind of round out the panel a little more with an area of expertise that I know that, and you guys are better in other areas than I am. And so if we have a more rounded out panel, then things flow a little easier and no one's getting tripped up or anything.
Yeah, Sean, don't feel bad.
I would rather be corrected on something that I'm wrong on than being wrong and then it never being corrected.
When George corrected me the other day, he brought out like weaponry and he was threatening to like dismember me, talking about my mom and my family and my cat, my dog. It was, you know what? But you know what? I took the blows, right? So okay, it wasn't that bad, but at least, but same thing. You know, I know George knows about this stuff. He corrected on my math, and I was like, yeah, okay, you know what? Good point taken. That's what we do, right? I mean, I don't want to put up misinformation,
right? And like I said, that's why I said thank you to you and George, because I don't want to put out wrong stuff, and I dumbed it down to the point where I started to become wrong, and I feel bad for that.
All right, moving on, no big deal. Kevin, you agree with me? Do you think this guy part-time vegan is just a big fucking Poe at this point?
He's full of shit.
All right,
he's so full of cheese he could open a deli.
I think he's a Poe on.
This is where I got to slightly, I got to actually disagree on the whole Poe thing, because if he was just a Poe, he would have no problems with saying somebody's wrong.
I think he was refusing to just because he knew it would piss you guys off.
Right, that's what I read into it too.
Same.
Noob moment. Can somebody define Poe?
Someone basically pretending to hold delusional beliefs as a parody or to be a troll, and you can't really tell the difference between a Poe and a someone who's actually real.
Yeah, like think about this: if you're like you're somebody who's like knows about evolution and you accept evolution as reality because it is, and you go to like a Christian,
somebody abusing the Poe's law.
Yeah, basically, yeah, exactly. Because if they go into the live chat and it's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, all these evolutionists are just idiots. Just try to get a rise to get people started talking. That's a Poe, right?
Well, here's why I have the view I do about it though, because he took no delay at all whenever he thought he had a point. But whenever he was cornered, you could hear the wheels turning in his head on how he was going to try to talk his way out of it. And
exactly,
that's why I don't buy into the Poe explanation. I think that he's just serious case of cognitive dissonance.
But I don't know, Sean. Like when he pauses and you can just kind of see him there thinking, and his wheels are spinning. It's like, how is he going to get out of this corner? Like he just doesn't want to give up a point. He wants to maintain his delusion or his worldview, and he's just pausing and thinking about how he can wiggle out of it rather than really weighing the evidence and saying, oh, geez, maybe I was wrong on this point. Maybe I should look at this differently. Because this crap that he keeps coming up with about, well, I'm going to look into it. Well, what do you have to look into? Like you tell him the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180. I'm not so sure. I guess I'll look into it, Yeah, has he ever really looked into anything from the past hangouts and come back and say, "Oh, yeah, you guys are right"?
That what he does in the beginning when he disagrees with something, where he goes,
well, he wouldn't even accept things. He wouldn't accept things like Red said. Yes, it is proven because mathematically it is that you need an infinite amount of energy to get to C, to reach C, to be at C. You need an infinite energy, and he's like, "Oh well, I don't think that's actually true." It's like, well, that is true. If you have mass, it takes an infinite amount of energy to reach the speed of light. That's something that has been demonstrated ad nauseum, and you could show it mathematically.
And then he brought up the faster than light neutrino thing, which we know was a calibrational instrumental error. They found
it was a loose wire, if I remember. There was a 60 nanosecond discrepancy when they went back. They found a wire bet was bad.
And then he's like, no, they're just trying to cover it up, like blah blah blah. Why would we want to cover up something like that?
That would be incredible if that was actually, if that did actually happen. That would open up a whole new area of physics.
And the point being is, if it was the case where neutrinos did have a 60 nanosecond faster than C, then other places would want to verify that, right? But somebody would win a Nobel Prize for that. That would be
when that was first reported. The first people who jumped on it asking like, "Hey, is there something here?" were the finance guys, like the high frequency traders. The people with money don't want to cover that up. They want to use it for themselves. Like,
you know what? That's a good point. How about I haven't asked Ruiv about that, because that's Ruiv's specialty is high frequency trading. I would ask him what that would.
Yeah,
that would be.
Those guys are like, yeah, the speed of light's been getting in our way for years.
Do you do high frequency trading?
No, I don't read a lot about it though.
Okay. Because I've asked him before, and I mean the reason why he made all his bank was he eliminated nanoseconds off the timeage between putting in the whatever is and whatever the high frequency.
Recently, in the last few years, they put in a high speed fiber optic line between the Chicago board and the New York Stock Exchange.
It's actually now it's a microwave relay. They replaced the fiber line with relay towers because it shaved off like 7 microseconds or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's a big deal.
You're literally down to microseconds. I mean, seriously, that's like huge, right? Can you imagine what 60 nanoseconds would do? Was that 6 microseconds?
I mean, it's awesome when you think about the amount of transactions and the high dollars that are occurring within microseconds. It's just mind-boggling.
Well, and there's a lot of money in it, because I can tell you right now, Ruiv sold his business for more money than all of us will ever see in our lifetime combined. So he did well.
Who is that, you say?
Ruiv.
Oh.
Our genetics guy.
Oh, okay.
Not a big secret. He's done okay for himself.
Well, I need to run to the store. I just wanted to pop in and thank you both for your correction and, say that I accepted it graciously.
Well, you have. I mean, you're a good sport. We all try to be.
So
yeah, not like I've never made a mistake before.
I will open up
all the time.
I'll open up some room for somebody else who's more into the upcoming talk. So
that's where we get respect, is rather than digging a hole and holding our position. If one can show one to be in error and accept it gracefully, I mean that goes a lot to building respect.
Well, it's a learning thing too. I mean, I like to just absorb knowledge where I can, and I was kind of burying myself with trying to dumb something down to the point to where an idiot could figure it out, but I apparently failed.
Do you remember back when we had the whole snowball sublimation debacle, which took like 5 PhDs to try to figure out? And yes, I was on the wrong side of that, but I got to be honest. After we've like several days and multiple PhDs, and we was looking at this, and after the data came out, and I was like, you know what? I can't ignore this anymore. This is the case. I was wrong, right? I mean, that's what I don't see flat earthers do. And of course, it was a minor thing, obviously, right? It was like life shattering, and I wasn't like, oh, I'm 100% right. I'm like, this is kind of what I think it is. And I had other people agree with me, including very, very intelligent people. But when it came down to brass tacks and we looked at the numbers, then we're like, yeah, this I was wrong. So it happens.
Okay, since this is limited to 10, everybody get ready for your join buttons. I'm dropping out right now.
Hi guys.
Take care, guys.
Take care. So, George, you I don't know if were you into that whole snowball sublimation debacle?
No, this is the first I've heard of it.
The question was, when you have a snowball and you take a lighter to it or some flame, is the water that's being produced, is it being sublimated? Is there any sublimation going on such that the water is turning instantly into vapor? And because you don't get any water dripping, right? Because when you put a lighter underneath the snowball, it doesn't drip, right? What's the reason for that?
It doesn't.
Well, I mean, if you do it right, it won't drip. The water actually gets absorbed in the snowball. But
yeah, I was just thinking about that. Yeah, if it was slow enough, it would get absorbed.
Yeah, exactly, and that does happen. But I was still thinking
reaction through the snowball would bring it up and freeze it again.
Right, and that's exactly true. But I was also thinking, because you're applying a temperature and you're having a phase state change of water I would think that there'd be gas produced, right? I think that you'd be like boiling that water pretty quick, and some of it would void.
Wouldn't you be getting some spontaneous sublimation without the
That's what I was thinking. I think with the ice would be sublimated right into gas, but they worked to the numbers, and at the pressure and temperature they were at, no, the ice would actually you'd add latent heat to it. It would actually break the bonds, form water. Water would be absorbed, and then again, if the water is still being heated, it then could get more latent heat and become a gas. But there was no single stage where you went from a solid to a gas, ergo no sublimation. Although if you read about this, right, a lot of these pages say, oh, it's due to sublimation, right? And I took the bait, and I thought it was too, from what I remember. But all these pages out there saying that the reason why you don't get, water dripping, stuff like that, if you do it slow enough, is because of the capillary actions, not because of the sublimation.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, right? Yeah, but if you go look this up, you'll find pages out there. They're very adamant that, oh, it's due to sublimation. Even the news stories say sublimation.
Well, we all know that there's a lot of misinformation out on the internet. You always have to kind of do a reality check on anything you read.
I agree, but you see that. But the point was, I wasn't completely hosed, right? It wasn't like, I mean, this was like so off the wall to be what the fuck moment. But it was just, we actually looked at the numbers, and yeah, it can't be sublimation. So
if you got a snowball hot enough, I suppose, and fast enough, it would sublimate. Though it would just.
Well, that's what I was thinking. But
under a low enough pressure.
Yeah, but see, it had to be under low enough pressure. At the pressure you're doing it at, right, you're never going to reach that point where you have that sublimation occur. It's just not possible on the graph.
Well, isn't sublimation primarily dependent on going from the solid to the vapor state at a low temperature? I mean, when you start breaking bonds and getting melting, you're kind of bypassing that whole thing. Sublimation occurs generally below freezing temperatures.
Right. That's why you can have that's why you have like CO2. It doesn't go into a liquid state. Right, it just supplements.
Is this a conversation about somebody accepting being wrong?
No, it's just that we all mess things up. This is the whole point. But the point is, in the Great Debate community, we take correction when the evidence shows that we're wrong. Right. The
thing is, you weren't proven wrong on a point which is kind of your core belief and
no.
The point of your existence. Like if
I was not hanging my hat on this to die. No.
Exactly. So you can accept the correction gracefully and move on. For the flat earthers, their position presupposes conspiracy. Like to believe that, you have to believe that there is a huge fucking conspiracy, and you can explain everything away with a conspiracy. And the other thing is, it is for a lot of them their life mission to prove their standpoint, right?
Well, yeah, a lot of them, it ties right into their religious views too.
So they kind of have to resist it with all their might. It's to be expected that they will resist it beyond
reason.
Thank you.
Yeah, reason. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard to tell, in this whole flat Earth community, to separate the pros from the tros to the true believers, and that there's so much overlap, and you just
ain't that the truth?
You're having discussions with these people, you just don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah, I think Steve, you should text back in here a few times more.
He's unforgettable. Unforgettable, isn't he? Tonight, by the way, so as you guys know, Aron Ra and Atheist Edge will be here at 6. We've kind of got a full house. I am only doing the 10-man room because I want to limit it, because I don't think that having 25 people will be productive. So I am doing a regular type hangout like this. It's not going to record this live chat or anything like that. The group automatically, we have Aron, we have Atheist Edge, we have Richard Busey, myself, and General Han Solo for sure. That's 5. We're probably going to have also, and I don't know if these guys are going to stick around, but because they tend to drop out. But Joe Sonseed, Godless Girl. Josh should be probably on her account, if I'm not mistaken, the rational nihilist. And then Oshiwawa wants to pop in, and Zachary wants to pop in, and I'm trying to get some other theists. So that's kind of the lineup right now, but that might change, because I said we're going to try to rotate some people out, because I want to get theist in there to engage with him. But I know Josh wants to run Fordor's natural selection argument. Why, I don't know. That's been so resolved. But whatever. So, anyways, you guys gonna watch that tonight?
How does he find time to do this with running for the Senate?
I don't know. I asked the same question.
Amazing.
I really don't know.
He's giving up his Saturday evening to come hang with us.
He's not watching the fight, so if you're not watching the fight, come watch us.
Can I watch both?
Sure, but I'm not spending $100 worth of fight. You got to be out of your mind. And by the way, just FYI, I'm rooting for Mayweather. So this.
Good.
What do you got? What do you guys think?
I'm either getting drunk with the Geek Room or I'm going to debunk G-Man with the Atheist Ranger. One of the two.
Oh, is Geek Room doing a show tonight?
Why are there so many good
private show?
Oh, a private show. Well, who you guys voting for tonight in the fight, by the way? Like I said, McGregor's got a 2-inch reach, which is critical, but I think Mayweather's got the experience, and he's just going to annihilate him, I think. What do you think? I could be wrong.
I go by only 2 factors, girth and length.
Okay, McGregor's got the length. Who's heavier?
I am.
You're not fighting for $100 million.
Right, I'm fighting for $1.
I'll get in the ring for them for like half a second for $1 million. Sure.
I'll jump in, run across, and jump out.
Exactly. They can never reach me in a second.
Last 10 minutes with Mayweather, and you get $1 million.
I know, Steve. For $100 million, I'd let myself get pummeled.
Dude, for $100 million in a coma, you can't spend it.
Yeah.
When you're $100 million, man gets pounded by a professional for $100 million.
Yeah, you got a great mind. You don't want to fuck that shit up. So in the live chat, Paulogia and RSC, they're going for Mayweather. Mayweather's heavier. Not by much, I don't think, but they're on the same weight class. But RSC says Mayweather would dominate. I think so too. But again, there could be a major upset, right? So.
Yeah, Mayweather could just bring a gun.
Oh, actually, McGregor came in 4 pounds heavier, according to Crazy Attack.
Why does the weight
very
matter?
large subway.
Why does the weight matter?
Because when you're throwing a punch, you put your weight into it. These punches are not just from the arm. I mean, they're from the.
You do it through the entire body.
Yeah, it's a full motion thing. If you really want to get the full force of the punch.
That's how you punch someone good. Is you put your entire body weight into it.
Oh, yeah. I was always taught to aim for like vital areas.
Well, it's always a good idea to aim for the dick, but
the way I was.
If you want to have honor.
Well, you're talking about street fighting versus professional fighting.
Well, I wasn't taught professional fighting. I was taught
street fighting is eyes, nose, throat in, whichever you can get to first.
Where I live, it's
don't forget ear biting.
Street fighting, no. Street fighting is 45 ACP or you're dead.
By the way, I learned the new thing the other day. The groin is also known as the quote, the hollow of the thigh. I'd never heard that before until Aron and General's thing last night. The hollow of the thigh.
That's new to me as well.
I never heard of that. I learned something new, just like the rest of everybody's. See, I would have thought the hollow of the thigh.
We're learning together.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have thought it was like the back of the knee or something, but nope, it's the groin.
Doesn't it only apply to women that it's called the hollow of the thigh?
No, because Aron said it's a nut shot.
Oh, really? Okay, because I remember I remember when he actually mentioned it the first time. He was discussing the withering of the hollow of the thigh, which is what ancient people called the miscarriage. So I thought it was specifically about the feminine body, which made it even funnier.
Well,
maybe some women have balls.
No, it just hurts them really bad.
White male.
Hana has balls.
Yeah. In fact, I have to cuddle them now because I got into that hangout.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. What's up? Why you got? Yeah, what do you got to do with Hana? Because I heard
I gotta give her the good suck for getting into the hangout.
Balls too. They're just on their chest and bigger.
And Reg is okay with that.
Yeah, I like to fondle some balls.
So he's turned into a cuck. Okay.
He's gonna watch. He has to stick his dick between them.
I don't judge, man.
I don't know what it is.
What?
I hear people say that all the time, like because of the political situation. And I have no idea what that is.
It's somebody who has to watch his old lady be done by somebody else and gets off.
Or likes to be, not has to.
Yeah, not has to.
Or likes to. It. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He likes to be like man spread over his woman.
Typically, if you're not trying to be, insulting, you would say that they're a swinger. But
someone is asking on the live chat, the 6 p.m. Which time zone?
Pacific. 9 o'clock Eastern.
The only time zone that matters.
You should always use Central Standard Time.
Nah. Time zone is only the one that matters to me.
Hey, I'm just happy I got my mic working a few hours before this went down because I was going to have to go do this in the living room and I didn't really want to, or have somebody else, do it on my channel. So,
can you start announcing the times in Central European? Because I'm lazy to recall.
Oh,
Don't announce the times.
Britain is set 8 hours ahead. That's all I.
No, you set the time for whenever Mars, hits the sun. So, like,
we'll go by Mercury time.
Mercury time. It'll start the 31st of June.
5 nerds will be able to figure it out.
The hangout will last approximately 435 days.
Curtis,
No,
Curtis,
then the flat earthers refuse to do math, so they'll never be in.
Oh, never. Curtis, we'll say we'll use the galactic center from the Virgo supercluster.
There you go.
See, that's a long ass word. I don't think they're going to remember that.
We don't want flat earthers in here. Actually, I do.
Yeah, I'm not talking about flat. I'm talking about Pew.
Oh.
Can you imagine a flat earther with Aron Ra?
Oh God! If I had to set Aron up with some of these people, he would lose his fucking mind. Okay, think about this. Aron versus Edgar.
Aron versus G-Man.
Kent Hovind versus Edgar.
Yeah, I was about to say G-Man. I don't
It
know
would
who it
be a
is.
race
Well,
to see
he
who
won't-
killed
no,
who first.
He won't talk to G-Man. He thinks G-Man's an idiot. And so whatever.
Yeah.
But
Why?
Even
Even
absolutely 100% correct. Aron G-Man is an idiot.
Why don't we throw in a wild card and have G-Men fight, Jism?
Well, who would be okay if you guys would? I'm not making this happen, by the way. Even though I could get Ken to debate pretty much anybody right now. But who would you rather see? Ken Hovind debate Mr. Intelligence, or Mr. Intelligence debating Aron? What would you rather see?
Oh, Kent versus Mr. ID, hands down.
Really?
That would be hilarious. That would be so funny. He wouldn't know what to do with himself.
I'll tell you what would be really fun to me is to watch G-Man or Kent, either one, go up against Aron. That would be fucking hilarious.
They have G-Man's talked to Aron.
Oh, he has?
Times. Sure.
When?
Haven't they?
Yeah. It's
on the Line Ghost show, wasn't it? Or on the Mountain
Channel.
G-Man's debate, or Aron's debated Ronnie too on the League of Reason forum, but that was years ago.
Yeah, that's the one where Ronnie came up with the brilliant thing of 4-digit binary.
Okay,
wait.
What?
The
4-digit
DNA. No, he's talking about DNA being sequential specified information bullshit, and then he said something like DNA is a binary code.
No.
Quaternary code.
Which meaning it's a 4-digit binary, whatever the hell that means. And then he erased it. He actually went back on the. He actually erased it off the League of Reason, and the moderators had to go back and restore it because this was a debate between them, right? And he actually went back and edited it and tried to say he never said it. Ronnie's pretty shifty.
Hey, enjoy your evening, guys. I gotta run.
Thank you, George. Always a pleasure, my friend. I'm
Yeah,
glad
you
you're coming in more often. I'm liking to see that.
George, before you go, I actually did get a good time lapse of my area of the eclipse. I've got time lapse footage.
Yeah,
I haven't uploaded it.
Okay, send me a contact request or something, or on Skype or on Hangouts. Haven't talked to you in quite a while. I was wondering what happened to you.
Everybody's just banning me and demodding me and all kinds of other bullshit. The usual.
Well, I've never kicked you, so. You're one of my
I can't
favorites.
say that. I've kicked Kaiser a long time ago, but Kaiser's been awesome lately. So I've been really enjoying him coming in and actually throwing in his input. It's been very good lately.
Well, it's funny you say that, Steve, because Reds earlier today in his hangout actually demodded and banned me because it was an issue of lag, and it was an issue of time lag in which he made a question that had an obvious answer, and it's one of those Q&A things, and I posted the obvious answer in the hangout side chat, and I was timeouted, banned, and demodded for that. Something, and fuck him. I don't care. Fuck him. If he wants to ban and time out and demod followers and people that are just level-headed, that's up to him.
Yeah, it is what it is. I can't really say what people do on their other channel, though.
Was that the 3 Mile answer?
Yeah, it was the 3 Mile answer.
Somebody in the live chat said Arn versus Betsy DeVos. No.
Yeah.
That
No, there's a 3-roll answer. You know, I had bedtime lag on my cell phone, and he decided to be a dick. And so, well, that's up to him. You know, if he wants to do that, that's up to him.
Yeah. Well, hey, let me ask this real quick. I'm gonna be right as the thing. Do you again? I only want 10 people in the hangout tonight, but do you guys want me to do it like this, or should I do it on the OBS where I can record the live chat? Would that make it more interesting and people could actually see the live chat on the video, and they watch it later on, they can see the live chat? Or what do you think?
Probably should record the live chat just for giggles.
Okay.
Yeah, I always like the live chat.
All right, I'll set it up as a bigger hangout, but just in case. But I am going to try to limit it to 10 or 11, no more than that, for obvious reasons.
Isn't it better to have somebody monitor the live chat and just read out the good ones?
Well,
and
the thing is, the live chat is not saved. That's the whole point of recording.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I know, but most of what isn't saved is no loss.
Yes.
You know what it makes the video kind of does look like it, like people are engaging, right? Because when people watch this later on, they watch these things. It's a lot more interesting for them to watch not just the video, but see the live chat too and see the comments. I notice when I do those, they get much more views than just a regular hangout.
Yeah, I like that. I like to be able to see the live chat going on off the screen, and it's nice. It's nice to see the comments, even if they are some of them are pretty good.
Yeah, no lie. Sometimes the live chat is more interesting than the hangout. We're not gonna kid ourselves, So.
Yeah, I don't know why Google never did that with something where you could actually save that
care.
Chat.
Yeah,
Google doesn't care.
Yeah,
Google is on the verge of being dismantled.
That's actually, by the way, let me throw that out there. That's actually the original GDC. Google doesn't care. So
there are so many easy features
Google
that could be added. There's so many simple things that could be changed to make YouTube and Google Plus just more useful. They take away useful features for no reason whatsoever.
Speaking of taking away useful features, did anyone notice that you can't the new Firefox update? You can't do SWF files anymore.
You can't do Hangouts.
What?
On Firefox.
Yeah, they Flash. All the browsers are trying to. All the browsers are getting rid of Flash support.
SWF files. I got a whole bunch of games. Little games.
Yeah.
I can play.
They're going to HTML5, isn't it?
HTML5.
Dude, HTML5 is the bane of all just everything that you can do. I've known this for years. I anticipated it.
WC3 sucks.
If you really want to play your Flash games, there are ways both in Chrome and in Firefox to re-enable it.
I did with I re-enabled Firefox. I went back to I don't know what the hell.
It makes sense what they're doing.
Version or something.
No, you don't need to revert to a previous version.
Yeah, I know there's standalone players too.
What they're doing is trying to make it so Flash isn't enabled by default and Flash files don't run by default because it is a security minefield. It's so bad it's not supported anymore.
I haven't used any third party web browsers in a while, like Opera or something like that.
Opera is
I use Opera. Opera's really good.
I'm gonna go back to what was it? Net. What the hell?
Oh God! Netscape.
Netscape. Oh, that was bad.
That's what Firefox is. It's Netscape evolved.
Just go back to the old days where it was all text.
Links, man, command line browser.
Did you guys ever do any of those MUDs where it was you telnet to the server and it's a little
Yes, I did.
Yep.
I did plan a few of those in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. That's
my most favorite one was Dawn. My most favorite one was Dawn of the Immortals. Did anyone else play Dawn of the Immortals?
No.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I found out something interesting you guys might be interested in. Recently, Kevin, you might especially, have you guys noticed Google News changed their format to a bunch of white page bullshit that just looks horrible. You can't do anything with it.
I don't use Google News, so
okay. Well,
I switched to Bing last week.
Hang on, yeah, well, because Google News went to shit, right? Right, Kaiser?
Correct.
Okay.
This is what you're
There's
talking
actually
about.
a way. There's actually a way. Somebody pointed out, because I'm in a Google forum and I was bitching about this, but there is a way to get Google in the old format. And if you go to theoldnews.com, it is actually in the old Google style.
What's that URL?
It's called theoldgnews.com. That's what it is. Theoldgnews.com. And do you want to screen share and show the difference?
You had to have went out of your way to search for this, Steve.
I liked Google
right?
the way it was.
Yeah, here's the old one.
Everybody knows that the first thing I do is I read the news. I've always said that.
I use Reddit and RSS feeders.
And so here's the before. This is what Google News used to look like. And then it went to shit by going to the new format, which is goes for the next one.
This is the new format.
Yeah, that's new. Look at much wasted white space that is.
I know. It is the same thing they did with Google Plus. They made it so much worse.
It's bad.
That looks so bad. Like if you're someone that wakes up in the evening, when you're a night owl, that doesn't do any good for you. I'm projecting a little bit when I say that. Yeah.
But anybody who's interested in that, there you go. You may have learned something by using the old. You can go to theoldgnews.com, and they have it in the old format for us. So that's been nice. So, anyways, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that is a lot of glare. When you have a lot of white space like that, that's so much glare.
And it doesn't show right on a lot of screens. On the bigger screens, it get even worse.
Exactly. Anything over a 22-inch monitor, I mean, it's just going to be like Poltergeist 2 in your face.
Yeah, I put the link in the live chat. It's theoldgnews.com. Yeah. So, anyways,
I used to go to Google Black or something. It was called. It was a black Google page for search engine.
And I also use the old YouTube format too. How many people like the new YouTube format?
Which old YouTube format?
The last one before the last update that put the people watching on the far left-hand side where your eyes don't really go, rather than like in the middle where it makes more sense to do. So yeah, I don't like the newer format. I went back to the older one, although the laptop has the new one. But yeah,
something's changed. I haven't gotten that yet.
Well,
is YouTube or Google, whoever the hierarchy is, are they even polling?
No, they don't give a shit.
These, I don't think they are.
Polling what?
No, they just roll them out. They don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Oh no, they don't give a shit about what users think.
Google doesn't care. GDC.
When they changed the Hangouts format, not the live one that we're in, but the off-air one that you get by default. They did allow people to submit questions or suggestions, and the main thing that people said was, "You got rid of the internal chat. Please bring it back." And that's the only thing they did, and it still sucks.
Real quick, Kev, go to one of your videos and just tell me when. Let me see your format. And I'll tell you if you have the new one or the old format.
Okay.
You're still on the old one. It's a rollout, so you haven't. Yeah, you haven't been hit with it yet.
That's what I thought. Okay, that's cool.
You want to see what? Well, I would have to I don't want to go back to the new format, but yeah, you haven't been hit by it yet, so that's why.
That makes sense.
Does anybody else have the new format they want to show? Yeah. All right. It doesn't really matter. So
they screwed up the mobile app too.
The mobile apps always suck way more than the desktop ones.
Right, but this morning I couldn't even find out how to get to the notifications. Like it gets push notifications just fine.
Yeah, fuck you, Google.
But I couldn't find the notifications inside the app. I'm like, well, I want to go look at the Hangouts that I missed or whatever, or the other videos that I like to see that I get notifications for. I couldn't find them. I'm like, well, I don't want to have to go out or click the pull downs, and if I accidentally swipe one away instead of clicking on it, because that's easy to do on an Android.
Yeah.
And you can't find the notifications. Oh, turns out you have to click your profile to get to the notifications now. Who just
Yeah,
stopped?
whatever happened to Google's motto? Don't be evil.
Yeah, they got rid of that. Got rid of that a while ago.
They hired Francesca Ramsey.
Yeah, as soon as they came out with them glasses, they got rid of the "don't be evil" thing.
Well, guys, I'm not going to keep this open much longer. I just want to have a really quick hangout just to test my mic. How many of you guys are going to watch the thing tonight with Aron? And if you can't afford to watch
Aron Ra at 6.
Yeah.
I've got to be at work in actually 1 hour.
Okay.
I wish I could be there.
Well, before I log off, then, what do you guys think of my last video? I'm just curious because I feel so bad, but I don't. Like a sorry, not sorry.
What, man one?
Yeah.
Wait, which one do you mean?
The G-Man's a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, G-Man's an idiot. I think he thrives. He thrives on he thrives on that stuff though. That's his.
He hasn't said anything. I'm actually quite surprised.
The only way you defeat bad ideas is with better ideas.
I truly believe that G-Man is an atheist trying to screw.
No,
really?
I do, Scott. No, I think Scott's onto something there.
No, I know you want to believe that, Scott. I know you want to accept that because that's easier for the brain to process. But
I think there's literally, at this point, I think there's just something really wrong with him just in terms of his emotional development that he'll never get help for. Like, I feel bad for him. Like, he's really fucked in the head. No one should behave like that.
Look, quick poll. How many here have actually been had a knock on the door by an actual Jehovah's Witness before?
I have.
I think we all have.
All they do is hand me a little pamphlet saying, "Hey, there's a neighborhood event going on. We want to invite you," and then leave. They don't preach or anything.
I usually invite
them.
They got free food. I'll go.
Dude, the two that came to my door.
You have to invite them in for coffee and have a serious conversation with them and let them do their best to convince you.
If they're cute, if one of the two is cute.
I would have, but here's the thing. It was two women, and it was the middle of the hottest summer day you can imagine, and they had a baby in a stroller, and I was like, I literally called the cops for child abuse because they were having this baby around in the stroller. It was that bad.
Yeah, there's some that could be real nutters. But G-Man was, again, let me reiterate, people that are going around fucking with this work, you people are scum. You're worse than even G-Man. Don't fucking go with fucking people's work, okay? But I got to say this, it is kind of hypocritical for G-Man to be all upset that his work was involved with his online stuff when it was G-Man who threatened to call my landlord to get me evicted back when I was living with Lyrical.
You have video evidence of that?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually want to. I remember when he did that.
Yeah, I have to find it, but yeah, he did say that on camera.
We need to stuff that in his face.
And it was actually somebody who reminded me of it. I totally forgot about it.
You really have to approach them as though they're two separate things. It is unacceptable that somebody would go and try to get the man fired.
Absolutely.
Just as unacceptable. Yeah, right.
Right.
I watched one of your videos where
it's the fact that he doesn't know. He will say stupid shit, and it is potentiality versus actuality, right? He didn't actually do anything, but the fact that he'll make those threats shows that he doesn't fully understand. Look, if you don't want this done to you, don't threaten to do it to somebody else. And I'm not justifying it, and God knows I'm definitely not saying what people did was right. But there is a sense there that he's just not, he's lacking self-awareness.
That's not justice.
Yeah.
As simple as that. There is one thing I wanted to mention about G-Man. I watched one of your videos from I don't know when. There was a sort of a hangout, and he was there talking to you and a couple of other guys, and he brought up a point, and I'm sorry to say this, he is stupid. He doesn't get.
We all agree with that. Yes.
Wait, I know you all.
Not controversial.
But wait. But I can see from his standpoint that he is trying to make a reasoned argument. He's failing at it miserably, but he's trying. And he wants to get the point, like, if we use this definition, and if we use this definition, and if we then we can get this. agree to it. It was the Mormon brother Jesus Satan thingy, and you all guys just pissed on him, and I kind of think that's counterproductive, especially with like, yeah, of course he's going to fly off on a rail. He tried to bring up what he sees as a valid point, and nobody addressed it, and nobody brought it up seriously, and
he didn't have a valid point.
Qualified it on a technicality. I know, but you have
I don't
to
think
try.
G-Man has ever had a valid point. He gets so many things wrong.
Yeah, I know, but you have to try.
Well, again,
Yeah, like,
Barney,
this
Barney, hang on.
Do you know what the rules, Rappaport's rules of engagement are?
Yes, yes, but Barney, hang on.
It proved the point that he is trying to make, even
Barney,
if he can't make it.
Barney, let me interject here, dude.
Sorry.
I understand the principle of charity. Okay, when you've dealt with G-Man, as long as we have, those things no longer apply.
There's no charity.
Is he a member of your community? Look, is he a member of your community? As
He
stupid as
just
he is.
joined like 2 weeks ago.
He's been part of the YouTube,
But he's part of the YouTube community for a very long time.
There's your
since
charity.
2012. Fuck charity.
Yeah, he is no longer afforded principle of charity. He's not afforded. He's not afforded the commonality that we have as a group because he's pissed in the wind too many times on people. He's made up things. He's lied about people. He said people had affairs that they didn't have. I mean, the guy is not eligible for this type of
principle of charity is not something that should be mutual or is not an exchangeable thing. You do it because you're right. You do it.
Well, we know. Hence the term charity. It wouldn't be mutual if it wasn't a charity.
Yeah, I will. Well, the way with the principle of charity works with him, it's not like we move it all together, right? If I think that he's just misstated something, I will say, you know what? I don't think G-Man actually believes this. I think he just kind of misstated. However, in this particular case where he has the argumentation against me that I have said something that I did not say, there is no principle of charity to be had. He's outright lying.
And Steve did give him the charity. He said, "Don't screw with them at work. Don't screw with the guy's work." That's not
okay,
cool.
fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, initially, I was like, "Gee, man, maybe you."
I mean, in a debate, not.
Well, yeah,
like,
whatever.
yeah,
it's fine. But I mean, this is not a formal debate kind of thing. But I've said to him, "Look, maybe you misunderstood me, I guess, or at least I thought to myself, maybe you misunderstood me. You know, what do you think I'm saying?" He still has said multiple times that Steve has said you can believe in a God and still be an atheist, and yet has never produced any shred of evidence to me ever saying that.
And that disqualifies him. And harms you in no way whatsoever.
There are other things to his argument that we could address, and I would have liked to talk about. However, I'm not moving past that until that single issue is resolved for good reason, obviously, right? And then if he wants to talk about his polytheism and multiple gods and natural gods and finite gods, I'm fine with that. I will talk about those things. I was not ignoring his questions. I specifically said, I will not answer your questions until you resolve this particular primary thing, which was you saying that I said something I didn't say. Until you give me evidence for that or retract your claim and apologize, we're not moving forward. Simple as that.
I don't know. To me, it just sounds petty. I understand the feelings behind it. I don't understand.
Like I said, deal with these people for several years and you're kind of get a gist of what you have to go through.
Relative to G-Man's behavior in the past 4 years since I first became aware of him, we have given him so much more charity than he deserves.
Okay, can I
Barney?
try to put it from another view?
Can I put it in a different view for you?
Please.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking. Can I put it into a certain frame for you? I'm a liar. Never trust anything I say. At what point now can you and I have a conversation?
What?
If I am a liar. Never trust anything I say. Now, can you and I have a conversation?
At that point, you can never really converse with him because he's just, you don't know what to believe.
If you have no reason to trust someone as being honest, there is no further debate.
And just FYI, Hana, who came into this community, is saying the exact same things you were saying, just as, tentative and neutral and, that kind of list all hold hands and say, kumbaya. You see how she's turned now. So she's been corrupted.
No, that's the core point of what I'm saying. I am the new member of this community. This community will grow. You will get more viewers over time. People who come in after a certain point do not know the history.
Right.
but react to the present. When I come in, I see 30 people slamming G-Man with every slur and that they can, and I haven't seen much of what they're talking about.
There's a huge backstory there. Give it time, and I'll tell you what, we'll readdress this with you about a year from now, and we'll
and then I'll be one of you, and I'll be slamming G-Man. I'm saying you're putting off people who will come in.
I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. I honestly, I know my demographics, and no, I'm not.
Barney, if that were true, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, I definitely know my demographics. But anyways, tonight we're going to move on. Tonight, watch this or watch the fight, whatever. But I think it's going to be a good discussion tonight. I know, Josh.
Oh, the fight's tonight.
Yeah, the fight's tonight. We were talking about earlier. Josh wants to come in. He wants to talk about Fordor's argument for coextensive properties with natural selection with Aron. I don't know really why, but I said fine. So. I mean, I'd rather have this be about theism, but I can't. I was trying to get deflating atheism or escaping atheism or any of these guys, but they won't respond to me. So here's a chance for them to go after Aron. They're not taking it. I'm kind of surprised. And here, Atheist Proud to be from the Netherlands said, I joined Steve due to G-Man. There you go. Thanks, Atheist Proud.
Hey, Steve, I got to ask you.
Yeah.
Mr. Steve, what's your prediction for the fight? Prediction.
I've already said. Yeah, somebody's gonna get hurt. Yeah, as long as he doesn't get his ear bit, like that was the Holyfield versus Tyson fight. Yeah.
Oh God.
I watched that one actually. All right, guys, ending this because I don't want this to be too long. So we'll see you there. If you guys got some questions for Aron and you want to see if we can try to ask him, just send them to me, and I'll see you guys then. So, peace.